All right, so today we're jumping into a really fascinating scientific showdown. We're going to explore two competing ideas about the very foundation of mathematics itself. It's a story about elegance versus complexity and what it really means for an idea to be fundamental. So imagine this. What if you could throw out your entire scientific calculator, all those buttons, and replace it with just two? Well, that's not just some thought experiment. It's actually the core of a recent paper that went viral, claiming to have found a new atom for all of mathematics. So let's start with the idea that's been making waves. It comes from a paper by Polish physicist Andrzej Odzyvalek, and he proposed something so simple, it's kind of shocking. He calls it the EML operator. The idea is that with this one single function and the number 1, that's it. That's all you need to build basically everything else, all the continuous math that runs on your calculator. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Think about computers, right? For decades, we've known that you can build the most complex computer chip imaginable from just one tiny little building block, the NAND gate. What Odzyvalek is arguing here is that his EML operator is basically the same thing, but for the world of functions. And you can see just how powerful this claim is. It's like a family tree for math. You start with that one simple seed, EML, and the number 1, and you can bootstrap your way up to, well, everything. You get your constants, your basic arithmetic, and eventually all those complex trig functions from high school. But just as this incredibly elegant idea was taking the internet by storm, another researcher, Justin K. Leitz, published a pretty sharp counterargument. See, his work, which he'd been developing for years, suggested that this beautiful simplicity might just be an illusion. Leitz's point is blunt. He says, straight up, EML is not primitive. He argues it's not the real foundation at all. Instead, he calls it a continuous shadow composite, which is a fancy way of saying it's just a simplified reflection of a much, much deeper reality that has to be built first. So in Leitz's world, you can't just start with EML. You have to go on this whole journey first. It starts from this almost philosophical idea of the number 1 being a survivor mark. And from there, you have to build up all of arithmetic, all the different kinds of numbers to get to what he calls a lifted state, before you can even project the shadow where a tool like EML could exist. You know, the best way to think about it is like this. Imagine a really complex 3D object. Odzyvalek has found a perfect, simple, elegant way to describe the 2D shadow it casts on a wall. But Leitz is saying, hey, that's great, but the real story, the fundamental thing, is the 3D object itself. That's what he calls the lifted state. Now, you might be thinking, this is all pretty abstract, but this debate has very real, very concrete consequences. And you can see the difference in their thinking perfectly when you look at how they each approach artificial intelligence. Odzyvalek's AI is basically a formula hunter. It uses those EML trees to sift through data and discover new equations. Leitz's approach? Totally different. It's more like putting a thinking machine into an MRI and just watching its internal states shift and change as it works. And you can literally see this analysis in his work. This plot is like a map of the AI's mind. Those two big blue clouds, those are two completely different ways of thinking, what he calls cognitive regimes. And the little orange X's, that's when the AI actually says something, an output event. And he's got the proof to back it up. This chart shows that when the AI switches from one thought mode to another, there's this huge, measurable jolt in its internal state. So these aren't just random labels he's slapping on, these are real significant events happening inside the runtime. And get this, each of those states uses a different effective dimensionality. It's like the system is literally changing the number of mental gears it's using. Sometimes it's super focused, low dimensional. Other times it's engaging a way richer, more complex internal state. He's not just looking for a single formula. He is mapping the entire dynamic landscape of a cognitive process. Okay, so Leitz has this idea of a deeper reality. But can it actually do anything special? Well, hold on to your hats because the operational proofs he provides for his deeper engine are, frankly, staggering. 1.6 seconds. That is how long it takes his phase calculus engine to generate and stream the first million digits of pi. Not from memory, from scratch. And that's just getting warmed up. After that initial burst, it just keeps going, streaming new digits at a rate of over 1.3 million digits every single second. But this is the number that just breaks your brain. If you want to just pull out any random digit from the ones it's already calculated, The effective speed is nearly 2 billion digits per second. It's just wild.
And it's not just about pi. He used this same engine to crack a problem that has stumped mathematicians for centuries, finding the roots of a quintic equation. It's famously impossible to do with a standard algebraic formula. But by working in that higher dimensional lifted state, his system finds all 5 roots and then just projects them back down into our world, completely sidestepping the roadblocks that exist in normal math.
Which brings us all the way back to the heart of the conflict. What's really the most basic, the most primitive, the most fundamental building block of it all? So you've got 2 competing starting points. On one side, Audrovolic's EML, which is this elegant tool made from high-level stuff we already use, like exponents and logarithms. On the other side, you've got a far more primitive operation from Litz's phase calculus that builds everything from scratch using just integers. It's the ultimate contrast, a beautiful description of the shadow versus the raw engine that's actually casting it. So to put it another way, Litz's claim is basically this. EML is a powerful, beautiful species that lives in the mathematical jungle. But phase calculus, that's the very origin of the entire ecosystem. It's the engine generating that jungle from a much deeper, discrete level. And that leaves us with a really deep question about science itself. Is the goal to find the most elegant theory, the simplest one? Or is that beautiful simplicity just an illusion, a shadow cast by a much deeper, more complex, and maybe even truer reality hiding just beneath the surface?